gente, hoje é dia de Universal Studios. A gente comprou o VIP, que é um ingresso diferente, um pouquinho mais caro, mas que dá acesso a um monte de vantagens aqui no parque. E eu vou gravar um pouco do dia pra vocês, um pouco do parque, um pouco da experiência. E espero que seja um dia bem legal. Está aqui na fila e acabamos de saber que nós vamos entrar por um tapete vermelho. Como é que você se sente, Diogo? Que chique! Salmão defumado com aspargo, aí tem uma quiche e também croissant. E eu vou comer rapidinho, porque depois a gente vai sair e a gente já conheceu o nosso guia, ele é muito fofo, né, Diogo? Amei já.
Oh, Bob Esponja.
So folks, this is what we call in Hollywood a tease. You get to see Hogsmeade here, but we will be coming back.
Vou entrar agora em Springfield. Diogo, olha isso! Eu quero vir comer donuts.
And folks, this big hill, it's called the Hill of Mount Lee.
Since 1914. If you also look above the posters, you'll see the famous Universal logo. You know, when you go to see one of our movies, at the beginning you hear the theme song and then the globe turns. Well, if you look above the posters, that globe changes periodically. You see, in this truck, they had a whole lot of costumes. And you see the trailers that say Star Wagons. Those are the actors' dressing rooms. That's the home base for the Mindy Project, starring Mindy Kaling.
Camarim, né?
And for everyone wanting to see a movie star, folks, it's Ted! Hang on, Michael, they're getting photos. Thank you, sir. He's toasting you with his martini. The reason Ted is there, this building right behind it is Bluegrass Films. That's Scott Stuber's company. These are all offices for big-time writers, directors, producers. But in the old days, we used to operate under the studio system. And the studios operated kind of like a professional football team. We would sign big-name actors and actresses and directors for like a 3-year contract. Now, Mariana, you're going to love this. Michael, can we go really slow? You see that profile by the door? That is Alfred Hitchcock. That was his office for over 20 years. When Mr. Hitchcock passed away in 1980, they offered that office to Steven Spielberg, and he turned it down. Mr. Spielberg said no one should have the same office as Alfred Hitchcock. That should be a shrine. Well, the Daily Witness Company disagrees. They're in there now. Brand new. That was for, I hope what some of you saw, last December, Hairspray Live. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be on all around you on both sides. We are in the middle here of the island. And let's go back in time. You can see how huge these trees and flowers. Wait a minute, Michael. They said there were no dinosaurs on this part of the island. Man, they're everywhere. Get out of here. Step on it. Go, 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 go. Oh, wait, there's a T-Rex in front of us. Oh, there's another T-Rex on the right. We're surrounded. And there's a third one on the left. They always come in threes. We need help. Oh! We got the ice. He's in trouble. We need help. Oh, ayuda! Oh, there it is. And in these were the way cars were supposed to look in the future, but the future was 2015. So the future is past, definitely. And then from the future we go back to our Flintstones cars. John Goodman and Rick Moranis played Fred and Marty. And folks, our most famous and lucrative of all of our franchises, Fast and the Furious. Are we big fans of the Fast and the Furious? All right. The last two movies, Furious 7 and The Fate of the Eight, have both made over $1 billion worldwide. So they're now greenlit 9 and 10. Furious 9 is coming out April of 2019. Furious 10, April 2021. And then there's the Jeep, one of the ones, from the Jurassic World movie. Usually there's a gyrosphere here right beside it, but that gyrosphere is now in Hawaii. They're finishing up the Jurassic World 2, going to be coming out next year. And this Bradley vehicle here is from the Transformers movie. That shot blue steel dinosaur cage. That cage is actually made out of wood and tin. It's painted to look like blue steel. Even the rust is painted on. Here on the right, this is the boat from Jurassic 3, made out of wood as well. When we get to the end of this mobile lab, look over your left shoulder. You'll see that it's beginning to splinter. You can see the wood right there, the what it's made of. Oh, don't worry, it's just acid. Okay, Jesus, Fernando, and Pepe. We're going to make you feel like you're outside of Mexico City. We're going to a small little Mexican village. So welcome home. We have brought you here to Mexico because we want to show you how we make it rain. Really about 4 times larger than real rainfall.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you're wondering how we can possibly create a flash flood, it's very simple. We just flushed all the toilets in the park at the same time. No. That's our western area. We call it 6 Points, Texas. If any of you have been watching Westworld on HBO, they shot a couple of episodes on our street over there. They did part of the pilot, and they did part of episode 5. And if anybody here are fans of Castle with Nathan Fillion, when he and his girlfriend Beckett got married, they went on their honeymoon to a dude ranch in Arizona. Because these sets were beginning to get a little decrepit, but these are the oldest sets we have on our entire lot. I mean, these original sets were built in the 19-teens and 1920s. But of course, they have been refurbished many times. This building on your left, all of those rocks are made out of rubber. So you can throw each other up against the walls. Nobody gets hurt. Here in 1906, that second building there was the bank. It was a giant rental facility. This area we're in now, I mentioned how many times it's been Mexico. This was also Peru in the Paramount film Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. When Harrison Ford and Shia LaBeouf are walking through the market, that was here. Well, friends, you see the sign in front of us that says Amity Island. That is where Steven Spielberg took us for the movie Jaws. So since it's a nice summer day, we're just going to pile right over here. You see the shark's been caught. There is nothing to worry about. We're going to stay here. Maybe we can order us up some lobster rolls or something. Oh no, look to the right. They caught the wrong shark. Look at the side of that fin. Oh no, there's a diver in the water. Hey guys, get that diver out of there. There's a diver. Wait a minute. That's my brother, Bob. Hey, Bob. Bob, get out of the water. Bob, it's Jaws. He's coming right for you, Bob. Ah, Bob, you always had a lot of guts. Ah, there they are. Well, folks, that's my half-brother, Bob. So long, chum. We gotta get out of here, Michael. There's a big shark out there. Oh, I've got a better idea. Let's park next to this explosive material. Keep your eyes on that yellow barrel. He's taking the bait. He's also taking our pier. I don't think this can get any worse. Okay, it just got worse. Now the shark's got gas. Look out, shark! Oh, the shark hangs pretty deep. House. That means each inside. This was Miss Mona's Chicken Ranch for our musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton, Burt Reynolds, Don Devil. Hey, wait a minute, Michael, can we slow down? That car is parked in a weird place and it doesn't have a drive-on path. Folks, excuse me, I've got to call security. Yeah, hi, security. Yeah, this is Tim. Yeah, Michael and I've got a really fabulous bunch of VIPs, but we're on our tour next to the House of Seven Gables. There's a black car. Looks like maybe a Dodge Charger.
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation.
You have to be careful of costume. All right, folks, well, as promised, we are going to sneak right in here and hide out till they catch this guy Shaw. Oh man, this is cool. That looks like a work of art. And I could certainly use this to get through LA traffic in the morning.
It just got here. All right, I got it. Well, listen, hello, beautiful people, particularly you right there missing the third row. How you doing? You good? My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you.
Race day after party, and where the other girls? Roman Pierce, FBI, on the ground. I don't work for you. Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting.
All right, folks, what you heard. They want us to move again.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime! Open it up! The new ambassador! Hook him up! Now we're moving.
And if they didn't have enough problems, they also had a psycho for their neighbor. Now this is the Bates Motel in Mariana. That's the real psycho house that I thought about there. She asked me earlier about that. That is the house from 1959. The movie came out in 1960. At the time it was made, it was considered the scariest movie of all time. Of course, the most famous scene is the shower scene. And in that great scene where they show the blood running down the drain, that's actually chocolate syrup. It was a black and white movie, and blood looks gray, so they had to use a darker color to use chocolate. Now, friends, we're gonna usually, this is where the tour ends if you're on the tram. We, however, are going to get off and walk through this airplane crash and get, hey, there's Norman. Hey, you want to sign some autographs, Norman? You pull out a pen. That's not a pen, that's a Sharpie.
Oh my God.
So now, folks, here's what we're going to do. We are going to get off and walk over to that airplane crash. And that's from The War of the Worlds, the Steven Spielberg movie. It's a Paramount film. I'm going to tell you all about it. Then when we come back, those of you that are super duper psycho fans, we can get a photo in front of the house. Maybe we can even get Norman Bates to pose with you if you want.
Agora a gente desceu e vamos fazer o tour a pé. Eu já tô surtando porque eu já vi a casa de Psycho, gente. Agora eu vou filmar mais coisas pra vocês.
All right, friends. Like I said, this is the airplane crash from The War of the Worlds. In the movie, they shot all of the neighborhood scenes in Bayonne, New Jersey. So that's when they had to do the airplane crash. They had to match those houses to the ones they'd already shot. And this is a real airplane. Most directors would have used a green screen. But Steven Spielberg said he wanted the effect of a real plane. If Mr. Spielberg wants an airplane, he gets an airplane. Now, you are going to see some dead bodies laying around. That is not from the movie War of the Worlds. We put those here because we're getting ready for at 6. Then it reopens at 7 with a Halloween theme. And so we have different mazes. Part of the Halloween is you walk through this airplane crash at night. So that's why they've got the dead bodies out here. Wow. For several years we had zombies from The Walking Dead out here. 2 years ago.
Muito incrível. Olha isso.
We're working around the corner. Landing in LAX. Now, if you want to see how old this airplane is,
Quer tirar foto?
Then you have your camera. He said he'd be kind enough, but if a tram starts to come, we have to get on the gravel. Mother?
Bye, Norman. Bye.
Some of you folks might even recognize this as Genovia from Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement. This is where they had the parade, so the little orphan girls got to be princesses. But currently, you see the signs on the buildings. This is for the TV show The Good Place. And so this is basically heaven. Yeah, in the sitcom The Good Place, Kristen Bell, the very first time the show opened. Now this is a working building. You know, they let us take you to the sets when they're not shooting. But here, there are people working. So if you see folks walking through, pushing carts, or look like they're in a hurry, we just need to get out of their way, if you would. We've built this whole large inventory from stuff that we've shot over the years. Nice and rustic, and right next to it, you got a very contemporary set.
It even looks like a real woman sitting there. Now all these little things like here, these little tchotchkes, those all came from the 3rd floor. Over here on your left-hand side, that house used to be very bright yellow, but that was Abel and Gloria's house. She played Gabrielle. And then Bob and Lee lived in this house, where these folks are lounging. They're working inside that house there. This was Mary Alice's house, the narrator, and Paul also lived there. Terry Hatcher lived in this yellow house on your left. She played Susan. Next to Lynette, Felicity Huffman. And then the blue house here on the right, that's Bree Vandekamp's house. And next to that, Mike the plumber. And next to him, Miss McCluskey. And she was played by Catherine Houston. And in front of us, Nicolette Sheridan played Edie. This was her house. And then, spoiler alert, she got killed off on the show. Renee moved in. Vanessa Williams.
We should do that after. We should come back. You know what I'm saying?
Gente, estamos entrando em falsamente agora.
Uau, olha.
Aqui são lojas, né? Lojas pra você comprar. Olha Hogwarts. Meu Deus, que lindo!
Now, this one's the one that only lasts about 45 seconds. And you can carry bags, but they'll ask you to put them at your feet. So if it's going to be uncomfortable, when you get on, hand me your bags, I'll hold them if you like.
Give you a chance to see the top part.
Follow your heart. It will, in my experience, rarely lead you wrong. Now, if you will, please proceed to the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom.
Gente, vamos almoçar. Olha o meu prato. Camarão, tem salmão, tem um monte de coisa gostosa. E agora eu vou comer. Comer porque eu tô morrendo de fome.
Oh my God, you're gonna get a spell! Bye guys! Bye Michael! Thank you, come back soon!
There's three rides here.
goes funny. Trust me. Head on a swivel, guys. Head on a swivel. That way, that way, that way. Away from the dinosaur.
The survivors live on these floating fortresses known as atolls.
Close the gate! There! Keep the lookout!
Helen!
Saint! Come help me!
Helen! Good to see you! Alive!
No, it's not a myth. I have been there. It's our salvation. We can all start new lives on dry land, but we have to hurry. Break to the wall!
Mac! Helen! Water cannons on that hole!